Here's what we know about the commemoration that will happen later today. The Chinese president will deliver an important speech after the commemoration. And the commemoration includes a massive military parade, which is composed of two parts: the inspection of the troops and the march past, lasting approximately 70 minutes.
Welcome to China.
The Chinese president and his wife welcoming guests arriving for the commemoration. And now they're walking towards a group photo where the arriving international dignitaries will take a group photo together with the Chinese president.
We are certainly marking a significant anniversary today on September 3rd. China is commemorating the 80th anniversary of the victory .
This gathering today in commemoration of the victory also heralds a new beginning for all countries to work together to create a harmonious world and safeguard global peace.
Well, as you can see right there, front and center on this gate is the character Duan Men. The Chinese character Duan also conveys righteousness, which is consistent with the message of safeguarding international justice.
The leaders are now walking together towards the Tiananmen rostrum. It's a short walk from the Duanmen Gate we've been telling you about, which stands just north of the Tiananmen rostrum, to the rostrum itself.
And Zhongxi, you know, for many foreign leaders who have visited China before, the Tiananmen rostrum, or the Forbidden City, is a familiar sight. Many of them have been here before to the Forbidden City. However, this gathering here today holds a special significance.
Absolutely. The Tiananmen rostrum sits right in the heart of the Chinese capital, with viewing platforms that can overlook the Tiananmen Square. The leaders will be walking towards the rostrum. They will ascend to the viewing platform on the rostrum and view the military parade together.
Now, as they walk on the red carpet to make their way to the top of the Tiananmen rostrum, a little bit of background information about the structure. It was built as a ceremonial gate to the imperial city in the Ming Dynasty. It's witnessed ties of Chinese history in the past 6 centuries.
And in 1937, Tiananmen Square witnessed the fall of Peking. In October 1945, Japanese invaders in North China officially surrendered at the square of the Hall of Supreme Harmony in the Forbidden City.
Today's commemoration is certainly a big national event, a military event as well, as troops and armaments are standing by ready for the inspection. It is also a significant diplomatic event, as heads of state, leaders of international organizations are convening here to review the commemoration and the parade.
The leaders are making full use of this time as they walk together to the Tiananmen rostrum, engaging in friendly chit-chat and conversations.
And today, the Tiananmen rostrum, steeped in the depths of history, will again witness new glory. It is a pretty long walk to ascend to the top of the Tiananmen rostrum.
80 decades ago, World War II ended with over 100 million casualties among soldiers and civilians worldwide. Chinese casualties were more than 35 million. And today it's about commemorating the victory in that war, in the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression, as well as the World Anti-Fascist War. And now the leaders are arriving at that expansive viewing platform up on the Tiananmen rostrum.
And we understand that some of the veterans of the War of Resistance were given their own viewing spots on top of the Tiananmen rostrum. Crowds are welcoming China's top leader, as well as international dignitaries. We are seeing veterans sitting there, and President Xi Jinping and the international dignitaries. He's a 100-year-old veteran. 94-year-old veteran. 102-year-old veteran. 100-year-old veteran from the Kuomintang. And during the fight against the Japanese aggression, the Chinese people established a national united front to safeguard their homeland.
Obviously, the Chinese president was very pleased to see the veterans present up on the Tiananmen rostrum. He even introduced the veterans to his guests there, and shaking hands with the veterans, greeting them, welcoming them to this very important commemoration.
And the veterans represent the legacies of this long-fought war. And their spirit of resilience, of peace, of perseverance still echo on every inch of China's soil now.
It's certainly a very heartwarming thing there to have the veterans seated up on the Tiananmen rostrum. They are the real heroes and role models, and they motivate us to keep pushing forward. The victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression is a glory shared by the Chinese nation and also people worldwide who stand for justice. Professor Gao, Mr. Zhou, let's bring you in for this part. Obviously, the veterans are seated, out there on the Tiananmen rostrum so that they have an opportunity to participate in the commemoration today. What do you make of that arrangement, Professor Gao?
Well, I think this is really the right thing to do because they fought against the Japanese aggressors. They shed their blood, and they have always been honored by the People's Republic, by the Chinese people, and now they are in the center of this reviewing process of the parade to commemorate the 80th year anniversary of the victory against Japanese aggression. And I think we all hail them as the real heroes, defending China's sovereignty and territorial integrity and fighting off the Japanese aggressors.
Real heroes and real witnesses, not only to the atrocities of the war, but more importantly to the final victory. And we're so happy that they get to see the commemoration today. Mr. Zhou, your thoughts?
Well, I think I can't agree more with Victor Gao about the importance of having these veterans standing on Tiananmen Square. I think it's rare, It won't be easy for us to see these people right now because they're all very old people, but they're still alive, but they can still see how strong China is today, in which they have made their due and a great contribution. So I think that is indeed a great honor for them to be there and for us to see them there.
Now, many of these veterans fought under extremely harsh conditions: poverty, famine, the lack of military resources. What does their perseverance teach us about the spirits of, resilience and courage? And, besides honoring them in events like this, what more could we do, Professor Gao, to really weave their legacies more into everyday life?
I think these veterans, 80 years ago, or more than 80 years ago, fought against Japanese aggressors not only as soldiers, but they were true representatives of the Chinese nation, true representative of the Chinese culture and the Chinese civilization. In their bodies, I can see the most splendid and the glorious part of the Chinese civilization. So they became the epitome of the Chinese nation. They became the epitome of the Chinese civilization. And by shedding blood for their own motherland, by fighting off foreign aggressors, they set an example for the future generation. So now we honor them as our national hero, and the younger generation draw inspiration from these veterans and learn lessons from them, and we become redoubled in our commitment to defending peace and defending China and defending the Chinese culture and ultimately the Chinese civilization.
Obviously, we're commemorating this day. We're inviting veterans up on the Tiananmen rostrum to carry on the spirit of the war of resistance against the Japanese aggression. Mr. Zhou, how do we do that? How do we make sure that the spirit of perseverance, the spirit of never surrender, the spirit of defending your motherland lives on in today's world?
Well, these people are actually old soldiers, right? And old soldiers never die. So what they have left us are actually a litany of fine traditions. But if you look at the PLA today, you would find it so interesting to see that how small they were at that time and how ill-equipped they were at that time. But on the contrary, today, China is almost the opposite, right? China is having the largest armed force in the world, and in a moment we're going to see all the modern weaponry and combat platforms. But still, this kind of fine traditions are basically in the heart and in the blood of our modern-day soldiers, because that's really, really matter, for us if you are going to another war. So you have to think of where you come from, right? And what kind of traditions are already placed in you. So these people basically are the very sources of a fine tradition.
How can remembering their sacrifices and contributions inspire values that are still relevant today? Professor Gao.
Well, I think they are the true Chinese nationals and our heroes. But allow me to mention, behind these veterans, I also see those who fell on the battleground, who really sacrificed their lives for the Chinese nation. So I think we not only see these veterans who are the true representative of those heroes fighting against Japanese aggressors, but they are also representatives of all the millions of the Chinese soldiers who shed their blood, who sacrificed their life, and they too become the national heroes for the current generation of the Chinese nation and the future generations. And I think by honoring them, we honor ourselves, we honor and we honor peace. That is the most important thing.
We talked about international solidarity towards ending the Second World War, and the international solidarity is also present today with the turnout of those international dignitaries that have arrived in Beijing. You're looking at live pictures of the Tiananmen Square that's fully decorated for the commemoration today. There are the year-marking installations that show the years 1945 and 2025. Today is September 3rd. In the capital, Beijing, the commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression in the World Anti-Fascist War will begin soon.
CGTN is broadcasting the commemoration live to global audiences. We're now watching live pictures from the Tiananmen Square. The commemoration is going to begin in just a moment.
State and party leaders, Xi Jinping, Li Qiang, 赵乐际、罗虎、蔡奇、丁薛祥、李希 and Han Zheng have come to the Tiananmen rostrum. Dozens of foreign politicians and dignitaries attend the ceremony at the invitation.
soldiers who participated in the War of Resistance, representatives of Kuomintang veteran soldiers who had fought the Japanese aggression, family members of Kuomintang high-ranking officers who had died in the War of Resistance, representatives of those who received wars for their service, and representatives of Hong Kong, Taiwan, patriots, as well as overseas Chinese who are also present on the Tiananmen rostrum. and we could see the obelisk, the monument to the people's heroes.
The commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War now begins. Please all rise and stand at attention. Fire the gun.
Salute is fired to mark the 80 years since the victory of the War of Resistance. The thunder of guns resembles roars of soldiers on the battleground. It is also like a song of triumph, sending to time and space to tell our fallen heroes. China today is a great country with majestic mountains and rivers, and its people are full of pride and ambition.
Great changes have taken place over the 80 years from 1945 to 2025. Today, China is safeguarding growing peace and contributing to the progress of human civilization with fearless strength and determination. The Great Wall symbolizes the unyielding spirit of the Chinese nation. This great nation never bows to any enemy or any force. Those who dare to invade us are doomed to crash into the iron Great Wall with bloodshed.
Chinese people's deep love towards the motherland can be seen from the steadfast gaze of the honor guards. When their patriotism erupts like a volcano, there will be no insurmountable hurdles or unachievable feats for them. Stops. Under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China, the Chinese nation, with a firm grip on its own destiny, is marching forward staunchly and proudly.
monument of the people's heroes to the national flagpole. And from the great victory to the great rejuvenation, the Chinese nation has walked a long way of innumerable difficulties and hardships.
This is a road to national independence and people's liberation. It is also a road to national dignity, prosperity, and strength, and a road to Chinese modernization and a global community with a shared future.
The national anthem, March of the Volunteers, which was born during wartime, will soon be played. It was written in 1935, in the early years of the war against Japanese aggression.
Raise the national flag and sing the national anthem. Please be seated. I invite General Secretary of the Security Central Committee, President of the People's Republic of China, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Comrade Xi Jinping, to deliver an important speech.
全国同胞们，
All my fellow Chinese across the
尊
nation,
敬的各位国家元首
Your Excellencies,
政府
heads of
首脑
state and government,
和
and
国际组织代
representatives
表
of，international organizations,
尊敬的各位来宾，
distinguished guests,
全体受阅将士们、
all officers and
同
soldiers
志们、
participating in the
朋友
parade,
们，
comrades, and
今
friends.
天我们
Today,
隆重集会，
we gather here to
纪
solemnly
念中国人民
commemorate
抗日
the
战
80th
争
anniversary of the victory
及
of the
世
Chinese
界
People's
反法
War
西
of
斯战争
resistance against
胜
the
利
Japanese
80周
aggression
年，
and the World Anti-Fascist War.
共同铭记历史，
It is an occasion
缅
for
怀
us to
先
remember
烈，
history,
珍
honor
爱
fallen
和
heroes,
平，
cherish
开
peace,
创未来。
and create a better future.
我代表中共中
On
央、
behalf of the Central Committee of the
全
Communist
国
Party
人
of
大、
China, the National People's
国
Congress,
务院、
the State Council,
全国政协、
the National Committee of the Chinese People's
中央
Political
军委
Consultative Conference, and the Central Military Commission,
向全国
I would
参
like
加
to
过
pay high
抗日战
tribute
争的
to
老
our
战士、
veteran soldiers and
老
comrades,
同志、
patriots,
爱国人士
and officers who fought in the
抗日
war of
将领
resistance against Japanese aggression,
向为中国人民抗日战争胜利
and to the Chinese nationals
做出
from home
重大
and
贡
abroad
献的
who made important
海内
contributions
外
to
中华
our
儿女
victory.
致以崇高敬意，向支
I
援
would also like to express
和帮助
my
过
sincere
中
thanks
国人民
to
抵抗侵略的外国政
foreign
府
governments
和国际友人表示衷心感谢，向参加今天大会的各国来宾表示热烈欢迎。同志们、朋友们，中国人民抗日战争是艰苦卓绝的伟大战争。在中国共产党倡导建立的抗日民族统一战线体制下，中国人民以铮铮铁骨战强敌，以血肉之躯筑长城，取得近代以来反抗外敌入侵的第一次完全胜利。中国人民抗日战争是世界反法西斯战争的重要组成部分。中国人民以巨大的民族牺牲，为拯救人类文明、保卫世界和平做出了重大贡献。历史警示我们，人类命运休戚与共，各个国家、各个民族只有平等相待、和睦相处、守望相助，才能维护共同安全，消弭战争根源，不让历史悲剧重演。同志们、朋友们，中华民族是不畏强暴、自立自强的伟大民族。当年面对正义与邪恶、光明与黑暗、进步与反动的生死较量，中国人民同仇敌忾，奋起反抗，为国家生存而战，为民族复兴而战，为人类正义而战。今天，人类又面临和平还是战争，对话还是对抗，共赢还是零和的抉择。中国人民坚定站在历史正确一边，站在人类文明进步一边，坚持走和平发展道路，与各国人民携手构建人类命运共同体。中国人民解放军始终是党和人民完全可以信赖的英雄部队，全军将士要忠实履行神圣职责，加快建设世界一流军队，坚决维护国家主权、统一、领土完整，为实现中华民族伟大复兴提供战略支撑，为世界和平与发展做出更大贡献。历史承载过去，也启迪未来。新时代新征程，全国各族人民要在中国共产党坚强领导下，坚持马克思列宁主义、毛泽东思想、邓小平理论， 3个代表重要思
The
想：
theory of three represents
科学发展
and
观
the scientific outlook,
全面贯彻新时代
and fully
中国
implement
特
the
色
thoughts on
社会
socialism
主义思
with
想，
Chinese characteristics for the new era.
坚定不移走中国特色
We
社
should
会主
stay
义道
firmly
路
on，the path of socialism with
传
Chinese
承和弘扬
characteristics and carry
伟
forward
大
the
抗
great
战精
spirit
神，
of the war of
出
resistance.
力奋发，
We should press the
勇
head
毅
with
前行，
enterprise and resolve.
为
And
中国式
advance
现
in
代
unity
化
the cause of building
全面
China
推
into a
进
great
强
country
国建
on
设
all fronts
民
and
族
realizing great
复兴
national
伟业
rejuvenation
而
through
团
China's
结奋
modernization.
斗。中华民族伟大复兴势
The
不可
great
挡，
rejuvenation of the Chinese
人类
nation
和
is
平与发展的
irresistible.
崇高
The
事
noble
业
cause of peace
必
and
将胜利
development。of humanity will prevail.
阅兵开始。
The military parade now begins. Markers in position.
The parade guards mark positions and boundaries at the parade ground. 60 soldiers will line up in front of the eastern and western ornament columns on the Tiananmen Square.
Marching with steadfast footsteps and imposing bearing, the ironclad troops showcase their unshakable faith, strong conviction, strict discipline, and firm commitment to their duties.
Standing firm on the ground of the motherland and bearing the hope of the Chinese nation, the heroic People's Liberation Army has forged ahead dauntlessly throughout wars, achieving great historic feats for the party and the people.
At the solemn moment today, the People's Armed Forces are ready for the inspection of General Secretary of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee, Chinese President, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Xi Jinping. They are also ready to be reviewed by the party and the people.
毕，请您检阅阅兵总指挥韩胜言。开始。是。
Let's begin.
Next, President Xi will pay an eye salute to the party national and military flags.
辛苦了！为人民服务！地方方针，敬礼！同志们好！主席好！第四方针，敬礼！同志们辛苦了！为人民服务！
In a typical back and forth, President Xi says, "Salute to you, comrades." And the soldiers reply, "Hail to Chairman." The President then says, "Comrades, thank you for your hard work." To which the soldiers reply, "We serve the people."
同志们辛苦了。 同志们好！主席好！辛苦了！为人民服务！
As you can hear right there, the phrase "serve the people" was written into the party constitution at the 7th National Congress of the Communist Party of China in 1945. Serving the people wholeheartedly was established as the fundamental principle of the party and the People's Liberation Army.
同志们好！主席好！
As President Xi's car rides past each segment of the troops, he greets the soldiers. The The troops respond vociferously, paying respect and demonstrating their loyalty.
同志们辛苦了。
These phrases are used in inspections, parades, and other military gatherings. Now President Xi is heading back to the Tiananmen Wall Street. Past the troops, the soldiers shout, follow the party's command, fight to win, forge exemplary conduct. Justice will prevail, peace will prevail, the people will prevail. Justice will prevail. Peace will prevail. The people will prevail. These three phrases were the closing lines in President Xi's speech 10 years ago, when the country marked the 70th anniversary of the victory of Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. Foot formations are now adjusting their lines. Vehicles and armaments are lining up. They will soon march to the Tiananmen rostrum.
The People's Liberation Army is known as the PLA. In 1927, its frontrunners were founded by the Communist Party of China. This year marks the 19th anniversary of the founding of the PLA.
During the 14-year-long War of Resistance, under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, the 8th Red Army and the new 4th Army, together with the Chinese people, defeated the Japanese forces and enveloped the invaders. They asserted their role in the battlefields and achieved victory in the War for National Liberation.
Since the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949, the PLA has also undertaken a successful national defense and socialist disruption, while transforming itself into a more revolutionary and modernized
Along Alongside the latest generation of conventional weapons, the parade will feature unmanned intelligence systems, underwater combat units, cyber and electronic forces, and hypersonic weapons, highlighting the PLA's growing capacity to harness emerging technologies, adapt to the evolving character of warfare, and prevail in future conflicts.
Just as China's weaponry has seen remarkable evolution over the years, the Chinese military has also continuously strengthened itself by reinforcing the primacy of political guidance and advancing comprehensive reforms.
China pursues a national defense policy that is defensive in nature. China will never seek hegemony, expansion, or spheres of influence.
Today, the PLA protects China and its people while making significant contributions to safeguarding world peace. It is the largest contributing country for peacekeepers among the permanent members of the UN Security Council.
China has formulated a three-step development strategy for modernizing national defense and the armed forces to achieve the centenary goals of strengthening the PLA by 2027, realize the modernization of national defense and the armed forces by 2035, and fully build the military into a world-class one by 2050.
Centenary objectives state that by 2027, China will accelerate the integrated development of mechanization, informationization, and intelligentization, accelerate the modernization of military theory, organizational reforms, personnel and weaponry, and prioritize quality and efficiency to enhance operational efficiency of military systems, and optimize the utilization of defense resources and promote the synchronized growth of defense and economic strengths.
formations and astronauts are involved in the Grand Parade. During the parade march past, airborne flag-floating astronauts, flood formations, battle flag formations, bomber columns, and aerial astronauts will pass through or fly past Tiananmen Square in Ulang. The parade is organized under the wartime command system. It will involve thousands of troops, over 100 aircraft, and hundreds of final armaments.
commands the march past.
Flag guides the direction. Flag leads strength. The march past begins with airborne flag on national.
Accompanied by the impassioned military music, the flag of the CPC, the national flag of the People's Republic of China, the flag of the People's Liberation Army are fluttering high in the air. 26 helicopters bear huge numerical shapes of 8 and 0. 3 helicopters bear the banners that read, "Justice will prevail, peace will prevail, the people will prevail." These messages are great truths inspired by history, a solemn proclamation of the right voice, how an era of peace and development.
Chinese nation always cherishes peace, takes pride in historic independence, fairness, and justice. The military always been at the heart of the law, defending national sovereignty, security, development, and safety, as well as the idea of world peace.
A total of 45 formations and echelons participate in the parade. And most of the weapons and equipment are shown to the public for the first time. It not only embodies the continuation of the heroic armed forces during the world resistance, but also demonstrates the new look of the people's military in the new era with enhanced political awareness and its new structure and its composition, new progress and modernization, and new achievements, enhancing combat readiness.
First to be inspected are 13 flag formations. After a comprehensive and deepened reform, the People's Military has formed a new system of services and arms. 4 service formations, 4 armed formations, and the formation of the armed police force will be holding their respective flags to make a good debut during the parade. under inspection is the Blanket Force Formation. As a core force of China's strategic deterrence, the PLA Blanket Force serves as the strategic support of China's status as a big power and an important cornerstone to safeguard national security. Its drive to become a modern armed force with both nuclear and conventional capabilities enable to deter wars in all battle spaces. Inspection is the Joint Logistics Support Force Commission. Self-reliance during the war of resistance all the way to becoming part of the synchronized operational systems and providing effective and precise assistance in the new era. The PLA Joint Logistics Support System has made new strides. Active duty forces in the new era.
Major wartime
force formation is marching towards us. China is the largest troop contributing country for peacekeeping among the permanent members of the UN Security Council. Having participated in UN peacekeeping operations for 35 years, the Chinese peacekeeping forces have confronted daunting challenges and fulfilled their missions. The forces have guarded world peace without hesitating to sacrifice their lives, demonstrating through their action how China assumes its responsibility as a major power, making great contributions to building a community with a shared future for humanity. Banner information showcases 80 honorary banners of the hero unit troops, bearing glory from the past. The banners symbolize heroism and victory, and will always propel the People's Army to forge ahead.
Four formations of the Land Combat Group are ready to be reviewed. Marching towards us is the Grand Assault Formation, grouped in an shaped array. The type of X1-19-E10 features strong striking abilities, powered with information. The type 110 to 105 vehicle are highly intelligent, capable of coordinated combat. New generation armored units, PLA army ground assault systems demonstrate capability, capturing strongholds, ability, and coordination.
Next is the amphibious assault vehicle formation, made up of amphibious wheeled armored assault vehicles, infantry fighting vehicles, and self-propelled howitzers. Capable of storing short range assault with strong mobility and flexibility, they are key armaments for the Marine Corps to take the lead in landing operations in a key area siege.
Marching towards us is the imposing airborne assault assault formation. Diverse airborne armaments formation are a long-distance aircraft with sharp weapons armament, rapid response.
Subjugation and precision strike. The two types of 191 box-shaped rocket artilleries are capable of making strike and providing support, expanding the Army's capability in terrestrial battle. Consists of UG-15 missile, UG-19, UG-17, and UG-20 hypersonic missiles. Missiles can be deployed on multiple platforms, such as carrier-based aircraft, surface vessels, and submarines, featuring long-range strike, fast speed, and strong destruction. Their sharp weapons for striking enemies in the sea.
Light and heavy torpedoes as well
high-powered microwave weapons. The trio work together to disable and destroy enemy drones.
Driving towards us is cyberspace combat formation. The 4 types of equipment being inspected can command and control detector fins, carry out cyber and electronic countermeasures, it is reinforced that consolidates cyber defense and powers joint force operations.
Electronic countermeasure formation. 5 types of key equipment are displayed. They can detect and monitor all frequencies and subdue the enemy forces precisely. Capable of burying and squeeze countermeasures and disconnecting the enemy networks. They are a crucial force in securing victory on joint multi-domain battlefields. Next to be inspected is the unmanned combat unit consisting of 3 formations. First, we have the unmanned land combat formation. These unmanned vehicles can carry out various tasks such as reconnaissance, assaults, mine and bomb defusing and removal, and SWAT assistance. They can be operated remotely and are able to move independently, work flexibly in groups, and make intelligent moves. With that, the Army can make coordinated operations between land and unmanned forces.
Now approaching is the unmanned maritime combat formation. Being reviewed now are new types of unmanned underwater vehicles and unmanned surface vehicles, as well as underwater mine deployment systems, which are capable of hit deployment and repair, including target identification and group-based attacks. They are extraordinary weapons in maritime combat.
Next is the unmanned aerial combat. The new models of weapons include reconnaissance and strike drones, unmanned wing planes, unmanned air domination planes, and unmanned aircraft carried aboard helicopters. Covering a wide range of space, they can attack in a way that is difficult to be detected and can automatically coordinate with one another, creating a new model of future-oriented aerial combat scenario.
logistics and equipment support group are to be reviewed. The logistics support formation consists of ambulances, field hospital installations, fuel transport, fuel depots, fuel hot wheel providing system. They have greatly enhanced modern logistics for the troops.
Support formation are light repair vehicles, wheeled emergency rescue and repair vehicles, disassemble and assemble repair vehicles, and electromechanical maintenance vehicles, rugged armored hospital for weapons and equipment.
Is the Strategic Strike Group, consisting of 4 formations. First, we have the Cruise Missile Formation. Naval, air, and rocket forces being organized into a joint group. The Changjiang 20A Changjiang 1000 missiles implement long-range precision strikes to all domain deterrence.
Speed is key to victory. Now we have hypersonic missile formation. The new types of missiles, MiG-21, Dongfeng 17, and Dongfeng 2016, can fly at an extremely high speed, excel at breaking through blockage, and hit targets with high precision. They're vital to victory during all rebel conflict.
Coming up next for inspection is the first nuclear missile formation. The heavyweight weapons in the group include Jingwei 1 air-based long-range missile, Ulang submarine-based intercontinental missile, Dongfeng 61 land-based intercontinental missile, and the new land-based intercontinental missile of Dongfeng 31. The first time showcases its nuclear together. They are vital strategic deterrents to safeguard national sovereignty and dignity.
Now coming to us is the second nuclear missile formation. The Dongfeng 5C liquid intercontinental strategic nuclear missile can strike any target around the world with an extensive shooting range. It is capable of providing defense and deterrence at any minute. These strategic heavyweight weapons in hand, China has forged a shielding peace to its safety. The people's military are loyally fulfilling their duties to safeguard the nation and its people, as well as world peace. echelons will soon arrive for inspection. Aircraft featuring early warning and reconnaissance, long-range strike, aerospace control operations, strategic delivery, and logistics support will show the Kremlin's increasing air combat capabilities. First to fly past is the echelon of early warning and command aircraft. The echelon of Portage 508 early warning planes and J-16 fighters, the echelon of Portage 600 early warning planes and J-15T shipboard fighters passed through inventory for inspection. Development and equipment. That's the aircraft has already been approved with those capabilities. Command and control, early warning and detection, working instrument.
Now approaching is the echelon of special purpose aircraft. For the escort of J-16 fighters, while 9 anti-submarine patrol aircraft, combat aircraft, and jamming aircraft. The development of radio types of special purpose aircraft has significantly increased the PLA's abilities and maritime and air reconnaissance, control, capabilities, and electromagnetic neutralization.
Closely following is the echelon of transport aircraft. Y-20A transport planes. Y-20B transport planes. They have two conformations, flying in a combat mode. New-type multifunctional transport aircraft equipped with three engines featuring long flight range, high rating capacity, and high speed. With the capacity of long-distance strategic delivery, they have carried out multiple major missions on home and abroad. mile markers fall out. Release the peace staffs.
中国人民抗日战争暨世界反法西斯战争胜利80周年大会到此结束。